Ladies and gentlemen, I thought I'd seen it all, but apparently I was wrong. Federal workers still on the job have a new worry: taking a day off during the shutdown. One essential Social Security employee didn't foresee her surgery being upended by the federal government shutdown when she scheduled it for early October. But the longtime manager decided to postpone the procedure, which would have required her to take 2 weeks off to recover, fearing that she could lose her job if she was absent from work. That's because taking sick leave during the shutdown would result in her being furloughed for those days. What's more, the furlough notice would be filed under disciplinary and adverse actions in her employee record. An unprecedented categorization during a funding lapse, according to a Social Security union leader and outside experts in government service. Between that potential black mark and the general sense of anxiety pervading her office, the employee said she felt, "This is not the time, and I could not take a chance on having weeks of furlough and being laid off." Essential workers at several federal agencies said they are worried about taking time off or being told that requests for leave would not be granted during the shutdown, which began on October 1 after Congress failed to agree to a federal spending package. It's adding to the insecurity they have felt all year as the Trump administration overhauls and downsizes the federal workforce. A government shutdown is often stressful, both for furloughed employees who are not allowed to work and for certain essential staffers who must still report for duty, because neither group is paid until after the shutdown ends. But this impasse is even more fraught because President Donald Trump is threatening federal workers' jobs and their ability to get back pay, or so at least that's how CNN wants to spin it.
So the shutdown continues. The Republican Party's not going to pay $1.5 trillion to illegal immigrants coming into our country, coming in for a lot of reasons, coming in from prisons, from jails, from all over the place, from Venezuela, many countries. We're not going to do that. So the shutdown continues. It's a Democrat shutdown. It's a Schumer shutdown because his career has failed and it's over. I met with President Zelensky, as you know, today.
President Trump just made it clear there'll be no negotiations on anything. Either vote for the 24-page CR or keep the government closed. And so you see, in order to end the shutdown, Democrats are demanding $1.5 trillion in new partisan spending. This, ladies and gentlemen, is an unserious proposal made by unserious people. Here are just a few of the things they're using to take the government hostage.
And they would send $500 million to liberal news outlets by refunding the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. It would also restore up to $5 billion of American taxpayer funds for wasteful spending for international projects. Here's a couple of examples. This is in their legislation, their counterproposal on the CR to keep the lights open. This is what they want to do. They want to spend $24.6 million of your hard-earned dollars as a taxpayer for climate resilience in Honduras. They want to spend $13.4 million for civic engagement in Zimbabwe. They want to send $3.9 million for LGBTQI plus democracy grants in the Western Balkans. They want to spend $2.9 million of your dollars for desert locust risk reduction in the Horn of Africa. And $2 million for, quote, organizing for feminist democratic principles in Africa. We are not doing that.
If you're keeping count at home, we're on day 17 of the shutdown. The Democrats have now voted for the 11th time to keep the government closed. 11 times now. They've refused to just do their basic job, get the government going again, making sure that federal employees are paid, that our troops are paid, Border Patrol agents, TSA agents, air traffic controllers, and everyone else who relies upon the vital services of our federal government. They're being denied that because Democrats in Congress are playing games. And right now, to add insult to injury, if you're paying attention at home, you also need to make note of this. Yesterday, the Senate Democrats took it a step further. They rejected a standalone bill to fund our nation's defense and pay our troops. They voted it down. Now, why is that so noteworthy? Well, the bill was passed out of committee in the Senate with broad bipartisan support. And yet, the Democrats still engaged in a stunt on the floor, and they rejected it. So now they are on record specifically and exclusively to block the paychecks of the troops, to block the funding of our national defense in a very dangerous moment in world history. It is absurd to us. Leader Thune said this on the floor, on the Senate floor after that vote. He said, quote, "That one vote demonstrates just how fundamentally disinterested Democrats are in supporting our troops and providing for our common defense." Yes, that is exactly what we saw. And I suspect if they were here today and it was on the floor, they'd do it once again.
Now, I know I don't have to tell you all just how ridiculous the Democrats' demands are, because you're all very smart people and you already know. But let me ask you this one question. What if the government shutdown lasted forever and everyone's lives improved drastically?
Shutdown. You have the money to pay the troops on October 15th. Okay. How is
I actually have a man who is a very wealthy person. You'll know that when I tell you this. Who called a donor, a great gentleman, and he said, if there's any money necessary, shortfall, for the paying of the troops, then I will pay it, meaning he will pay it. How about that? I said, look, we're not going to need it. We're going to take care of our troops. But this was a position that's being forced upon us by Democrats. And all they have to do is just...
President Trump says a very wealthy gentleman offered to pay U.S. troops' salaries if funding ran out during the government shutdown. Trump's October 14 statement, captured in the viral video clip that I just showed you, addresses concerns over troop pay during the U.S. government shutdown that began September 30th, 2025, amid partisan funding battles. And he revealed a private donor's offer to cover shortfalls, but opted to redirect $8 billion in unspent Pentagon funds for mid-month salaries. The post amassed over 9 million views and 131,000 likes, fueling widespread speculation on X that the anonymous wealthy gentleman is Elon Musk, given his public Trump endorsement and financial resources. So I guess we're all seeing the good of a once great relationship being restored as a result of a much needed meetup between two amazing men honoring the fallen Charlie Kirk during his monumental memorial. And as long as the troops are paid, Dale Stark says he doesn't care if the government shutdown lasts forever. Now, look at this. U.S. Homeland Security News posted this update. A wealthy donor whose name you know offered to cover the military's $10 billion a month payroll if the Democrats refuse to reopen the government. He is an American hero and patriot.
Update is paychecks are now hitting people's accounts. My husband did receive his pay in his account. That's for USAA. I know that there are people with Navy Federal who are pending. There's other people that bank with their places. I saw a couple Cash App, people banking with Cash App, different institutions, and are getting paid. So the funds that were in the big beautiful bill are being allotted to members to be paid. I will also say the president did come out and say that he doesn't think that this is going to end in the next 30 days, which means we're going to have to worry about the first of the month's paycheck. Right now, everybody's getting paid. This is also a long pay period for military. Remember that. October is a long pay period month. Stretch it out, save as much as you can. Do not overspend right now, because the president is predicting that this might not be over by the 1st of November, and you guys need to save money and have reserves for when the first hit. I know that's hard for a lot of people, but make sure that you're saving as much as you can for when the first hits. With that, though, the Coast Guard is not included in the bill to get funded for military because they are under Homeland Security. So the Coast Guard still is not getting paid. So we still have members that are with the military that are not getting paid. Obviously, those that are government workers, they are also not getting paid. So the fact that he's come out and said that this could be stretched to the first is definitely freaking a lot of people out. Just keep watching. Hopefully it'll changes and hopefully come to resolution soon.
Woke up this morning just to check my bank account, just to see if it actually happened, and guess what? I just got paid. Service members, you are getting paid, just so you know. It's going to be a good day today.
And this was just one of the unbelievable things I've seen so far today. And so in today's video, I'm going to share the list that I've made with you guys. So stick with me until the very end, because I can guarantee you that the last and final is one you're not going to want to miss. And folks, just real quick, if you have no need for Medicare or don't know anyone who does, then you can ignore this message. But if you yourself are on Medicare or know anyone else who is and wants simple, fast, free, and easy help and guidance through AEP right now from our friends at Chapter, pick up the phone and give them a call at 270-467-2426. So check this out. Jesse Sherry said, "Love your channel and your wife's channel. Saved $984 a year on Chapter. Thank you. Gave you credit. We live in Eugene, but would love to move to Idaho." And that's just great, folks. On average, Chapters helped save so many of my subscribers and my wife's $1,100 on their Medicare, while helping seniors avoid painful pitfalls that happen when plans go overlooked before the upcoming year. And all it takes is a quick, simple, fast, and free phone call. Again, that number to call is 270-467-2426, and call now, because the sooner the better. Peace of mind is just a few short minutes away. And what I'll do is I'll leave the number on the screen and drop additional information in the description if you'd like to learn more. All right, now let's begin. And we start with Polymarket. But I'll be damned. They've got Mamdani surging to record highs as Curtis Sliwa refuses to drop out, pushing the odds to a frightening 92% chance that Mamdani will be the next mayor of New York City. And now I don't normally put much weight into these polls. I mean, we all remember the polling numbers that were floating around last November, right? But it's worth pointing out how Polymarket's accuracy is at near 90% right now. But in the final 4 hours, it jumps to 95% accuracy right before resolution. Meanwhile, results from a separate poll show Gavin Newsom trailing J.D. Vance by only 1 point in a 2028 presidential poll. This, according to Emerson. J.D. Vance, 46% +1, Gavin Newsom, 45%. But I'm not really paying that no mind right now anyway, because I can tell when I'm being lied to.
So just to be clear, peacefully protesting a wannabe dictator means you hate America. Attacking the Capitol to overturn an election, patriotic walking tour. There is nothing more American than a political protest. The American Revolution was a No Kings rally. And if you are planning to go to the rally and you're going to be making your own sign, everybody there has a sign. I just want to ask you, remember, our president is very sensitive about his weight, so please do not use the word Shamussolini to describe him, or engorge Washington, or King Hungry VIII. He will not appreciate it. It's rude, and he will throw you in jail.
But I'm sure we can all agree that it's a sad, sad day when we can place more weight and trust in what Kamala Harris has to say, and dare I say, a voice of reason that we have rarely seen coming from the Democrat Party.
I write in the book that I thought it was a big mistake to not invite Elon Musk when we did a big EV event. I mean, here he is, the major American manufacturer of extraordinary innovation in this space, well, and in space. And the fact that he was not invited was, it just, on merit. When a president of the United States, I believe, has to put aside political loyalties when they get in the way of what is actually, and should be a source of pride for us as Americans, that we're creating that technology and innovation. So I thought that was a mistake, and I don't know Elon Musk, but I have to assume that that was something that hit him hard and had an impact on his perspective.
Now, there's two things I never thought I'd see. And as I live and breathe, Kamala Harris and Irrational Thought. And together, at the same time. Yeah, crazy. I know. And stick with me, folks, because I've got more to show you. And that previous clip featuring Kamala Harris won't be the last we hear of Elon Musk either. But what happens next? Well, no one saw coming.
The guy in the white shirt.
That's the colonel.
Colonel, don't mean shit to me.
Okay, well.
Look, I'm federal.
Okay.
I'm trying to get home. I got my boys with me.
Who do you work for?
DHS.
Do you have your ID with you?
No, I don't.
Okay. But if I called them, they'd verify that you're a
100%, bro.
Okay. You don't have any type of credentials or anything that say you're DHS?
Not on me, no.
Okay. All right.
I only bring my weapon with me if I'm.
Okay. But you don't have any weapons on you right now?
No, I don't.
Okay. So what I want to do, I want to talk to you away from the kids. So I'm going to ask you to step out of the car and we're going to walk back to the back of your car, okay?
Are you fucking serious right now?
Yes, sir, I am.
Now that's more like it. But I would have expected to see Kamala, more likely, leaning off that sauce. But instead, what we have here is an apparent DHS ICE agent. But I'm not sure I'm buying it. Here, you guys watch this clip, finish it out, and tell me what you think. You be the judge.
You know what? Call my supervisor.
Okay. Do you want to do the exercises or no?
I'll do it. But you know what? What's homeboy doing down there? You know, guys, come on.
Make sure we all sit because we're inside of the water. We don't want to get hit. We don't want you to get hit. That's why we're trying to do the exercise. That way we can move on.
Are you Haitian?
That's nothing to do with my wrist, buddy.
My question was, are you Haitian?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where he's from. Okay. Look, man, I really need you to do the exercise. If you don't do it, then I'm going to say that you're refusing to do the exercise. I get it. You need a minute. I gave you a few minutes, okay? But
Let me talk to your supervisor.
not right now, sir.
Yeah?
If you're a cop, whatever.
Yeah, I'm a fucking law enforcement,
Okay,
dude.
then stop talking and sit in the back of the car and stop. Stop this.
Come on, let's go.
Stop this.
What about my kids?
We're gonna take care of it.
No,
But
I'm
first
not
I need-
going in there. Let me talk to your supervisor.
Again, you can talk to him in a second.
Nope. Not going in there without my supervisor.
Okay, let's go to the other side. Come here. Come on, man. Don't pull against me. Let's go over
I'm
here.
not moving. Bro, don't fucking do this.
Let's go.
Lane.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Hey, come on, buddy. We're not doing this. Come on. Let's go.
So you guys are fucking shut.
Come on. Put your feet in.
Stand up.
Stand up. Come on.
Stand up. Put your feet in, man.
No.
Man,
Put
don't
your
be a
feet in.
kid. Come on.
Stop.
Where are my kids?
Stand up. Put your feet in.
What?
Put your feet in. Put your feet in.
You don't want to make this worse already.
Come on. Come on, man. Let's go.
You gotta sit in the car, man.
You're going to jail for DUI, which is a misdemeanor. If you don't cooperate, you go to jail for resisting. It only makes it worse.
Come on. Put your feet in, buddy.
All right, your kids will be fine. This will pass.
Listen to me.
No, sir, not on the side of the road.
Come on. Let's go, man.
We gotta sit down, Scott.
God damn you guys.
Now, I would imagine if you're still here and watching at this point that you enjoy my videos, or at least this one. And if so, thank you for your support. And if you could, let YouTube know by subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate it because it really helps out a lot. Because you all watching and subscribing and sharing my videos is what YouTube and advertisers look at most when deciding on how to compensate me for creating these videos. And I must say, I work really hard to do my research, to create great content with valuable information and some level of entertainment as we expose the truth and call out the hypocrisy of the left. And maybe one of the biggest hypocrites on the left seen here.
Virginia's elections are some of the most important in the country this year, and I am proud to endorse Abigail Spanberger for governor. Republican policies are raising costs on working families so billionaires can get massive tax cuts. As governor, Abigail will stand up for Virginia families. She'll work to build an economy that works for everyone, not just big corporations and the wealthy. But it won't happen without you. Every vote counts, so turn out and vote for Abigail Spanberger for governor on November 4th.
Ladies and gentlemen, Barack Obama, and I present to you his latest grift, getting paid buku bucks to promote Democrat candidates around the country so that they can get a few million views of reach by way of his X account. What a scam. Look, y'all, I don't believe a word he says about Abigail Spangler nor Mickey Sherrill.
Hey, New Jersey, this is Barack Obama, and I want to talk to you about my friend Mikey Sherrill. Mikey is a mom who will drive down costs for New Jersey families. As a federal prosecutor and former Navy helicopter pilot, she worked to keep our communities safe. Mikey's integrity, grit, and commitment to service are what we need right now in our leaders. Mikey Sherrill is the right choice for your next governor. So go vote by November 4th.
Don't fall for it, New Jersey. It's a ripoff. And I bet Obama got paid handsomely for these paid promotions. What a shrill. Tell me in the comments, how much do you think Obama ripped off taxpayers and donors for these short 30-second plugs? Or better yet, tell me what you think about the messaging. I mean, think about it. Who decided Obama was the best choice for these ads? I mean, it isn't like he did well or resonated with voters for Kamala last year. But based on the timeline, I mean, shouldn't it be Kamala Harris or Joe Biden making these videos, promoting these Democrats instead? And having them coming off as sellouts for the Dems since they were the two most recent Democrats in power. And based on the logic of the left and TDS suffering mainstream media, Kamala and Biden were who they told Americans we would have all preferred to be in the White House today instead of Trump, right? Yeah, right. I almost got through that one with a straight face too. But no, seriously, I thought I'd seen it all. Well, that was until now. And so you see, YouTube's been rolling out some new features lately, and last month at Made on YouTube, it was announced that the biggest updates they've ever brought to live are now here. And this includes what YouTube is advertising as the ability to easily transition from a public to a members-only live stream without disruption. And this feature is now available for all monetizing YouTube creators who are eligible for channel memberships.
What's up, insiders? I'm Lauren, a program manager on our product team here at YouTube and the producer of Creator Insider. If it's Tuesday, it's Newsday, so let's get into it. We're happy to announce that we're launching a new feature this week to create public to member-only live streams, which we announced earlier this month at Made on YouTube. This feature allows creators to easily transition a current public live stream into a special members-only stream instead of having to end the stream and start a new one for members. Viewers who are channel members at the tier specified by the creator can access the respective members-only live stream. Non-members will have the opportunity to purchase a membership to unlock access. This saves creators time and energy, makes it easier to provide a valuable perk to their channel members, and helps creators acquire new members by sparking curiosity of the content to come. We'll leave more information below, but let us know if you have any questions. Moving on, we've talked about the Media Kit on the channel before, but we're excited to share that we're now...
But I gotta be honest with you guys, I just see this as the platform further ruining the experience for viewers and creators. But I'm sincerely interested in your feedback. Over the last few days, I've seen my fair share of rather large channels on YouTube voicing their opinions about the problems with memberships and how it's pretty much just a ripoff for the viewers. Linus Tech Tips, Moist Critical, or Penguin Zero are just a few that come to mind, and maybe two that you all have seen or watched or even subscribed to. But at the end of the day, YouTube seems to be more focused on rolling out more products to take money from you than they are interested in improving the products that they already have. Or dare I say, connecting subscribers to channels and content they've already explicitly expressed showing interest in seeing more of. But I digress. Because I can't even begin to tell you how many comments I read from people who are subscribed to my channel and others who are constantly complaining that all they get served to them are shorts that they don't want to watch, or worse, leftist, Democrat, Trump-hating TDS content and propaganda. Come on, Team YouTube, make it make sense. But the Tesla CEO, Elon Musk, has acknowledged that X is underpaying content creators and not allocating payouts accurately, saying how the issue is that we are underpaying and not allocating payments accurately enough. And this is what the tech billionaire wrote in a post in response to a discussion on the platform about its creator monetization system. Also adding in a reply to Nikita Beer, the head of product at X, advisor at Solana, and venture partner at Lightspeed, and BTC bull rider Peter Dwan, Elon Musk said, no, the issue is that we're underpaying and not allocating payment accurately enough. And simply put, YouTube does a much better job. And so the way I see it, Elon Musk and X have one of three options to choose from here. The first and least likely is to eliminate the revenue share monetization program altogether. A great idea in theory, but a very unlikely one. I think that if posting on X lacked financial motivation and incentive, the quality of content posted and shared would improve drastically. However, there are many, many drawbacks to making that decision. Option number 2 would be to leave it be and continue to allow YouTube to dominate and reign superior in payment allocation, thus continuing to maintain a stronghold on market share, further hurting X as a whole. And lastly, the third option would be for Elon Musk to do what Elon Musk does, and that is to make X better than any other platform that exists, which means improving the allocation of payments to creators evenly and fairly based on performance, of course, which will only drive more and better competition, content, and creators to the platform and likely away from YouTube. Then YouTube would be at risk of experiencing the threat of a mass exodus of the platform by creators and viewers, customers, really. Then maybe they would rethink sly money grabs that ultimately piss off subscribers and loyal viewers while robbing creators after taking nearly 50% of their earnings, as we've discussed this before, and how YouTube and Google cleverly word how they get their cut, which in the end makes it almost not even worth it anymore and is driving creators and competitors to find an alternative that is balanced for everyone and thus more enjoyable. I mean, I thought YouTube was striving for satisfaction, but I guess that's only applied to the satisfaction of their C-suite executives and shareholders, maybe. Let me know if you think this new live stream, public to members only bait and switch is a ripoff or not. And it's okay. You can be brutally honest. I promise you will not hurt my feelings one bit. And speaking of hurt feelings, Caroline Leavitt has some choice words for Minority House Speaker Hakeem Jeffries after he attacks her online and bullies the best White House press secretary I have ever seen in my lifetime. Here, watch this.
Now, yesterday, the White House press secretary Caroline Leavitt called out Democrats for their unwavering allegiance to this new radical wing of the Democratic Party. Take a look.
The Democrat Party's main constituency are made up of Hamas terrorists, illegal aliens, and violent criminals. That is who the Democrat Party is catering to, not the Trump administration and not the White House and not the Republican Party, who is standing up for law-abiding Americans, not just across the country, but around the world.
Now, these comments prompted this unhinged meltdown from the House Minority Leader, Hakeem Jeffries. Take a look.
We got Caroline Leavitt, who's sick. She's out of control. And I'm not sure whether she's just demented, ignorant, a stone cold liar, or all of the above. But the notion that an official White House spokesperson would say that the Democratic Party consists of terrorists, violent criminals, and undocumented immigrants, this makes no sense. That this is what the American people are getting from the Trump administration in the middle of a shutdown.
All right, time now for our White House press briefing with White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. I just have a funny feeling you might want to respond to all of this.
I sure would, Sean, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to do so. Look, Hakeem Jeffries is simply lashing out because he knows that I am telling the truth about the modern day Democrat Party. What I said, and it is a fact, is that the Democrat Party caters more to pro-Hamas terrorists, illegal aliens, and violent criminals. And let me walk Hakeem through the facts of that statement. When it comes to pro-Hamas terrorists, it was Hakeem's House Democrat caucus that voted against a resolution condemning the October 7th attack on Israel. It was Hakeem Jeffries' Democrat caucus that supported and encouraged the pro-Hamas protests that ravaged college campuses and engaged in illegal harassment of Jewish students across the United States of America under Joe Biden's administration. When it comes to illegal aliens, the American people know the truth about that. The Democrats allowed them to flood our country. Why? Because they view that constituency as their future voters. And when it comes to violent criminals, look at what the Democrats support in terms of crime. Soft on crime policies like cashless bail, like letting violent criminals out back into the streets so they can recommit violent offenses against law-abiding American citizens. The Democrat Party puts Americans last. That's why they overwhelmingly lost the election to President Trump and the Republican Party. And that's why they're holding this country hostage right now from law-abiding, tax-paying American citizens who want the government to be open. So Hakeem Jeffries should stop calling me names. He should stop trying to fight my boss, President Trump, and he should go back to doing what he was elected to do, the business of the American people in Congress, and encourage Senate Democrats to open the government. And I see Hakeem Jeffries saying House Republicans are out. They're not even here. Yeah, because they did their jobs and they passed a clean continuing resolution at the behest of President Trump to keep the government open. And now Senate Democrats and Chuck Schumer are blocking that to fight Donald Trump. And it's despicable.
Okay, I want to set the record straight here because he lied in what he's saying. And Democrats have been lying about this as well. And I watched you one day at the podium and you laid out the facts. They are demanding $1.5 trillion in new spending to keep the government open for 7 weeks. Wow, that's a lot of money. Included in that money, $200 billion, health care for illegals, the continuation of COVID subsidies for people well above the poverty level. That was meant to be temporary in the first place. They want to fund NPR, PBS, all these DEI, initiatives around the world. Or they're not going to open the government. They're not going to let our military get paid. They're not going to let Homeland Security officials that are working get paid. That's where we are. And meanwhile, Republicans will fund the government at current levels while they negotiate new budgets. Because they're just flat out lying. So, we're not funding illegal immigrants. Yes, they are.
They are. Their continuing resolution that they proposed to keep the government open included a poison pill that would have undone what President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill did, which is to restrict illegal aliens from receiving Medicaid benefits. President Trump fixed that in the One Big Beautiful Bill, and Democrats want to take it away because they want these taxpayer-funded benefits to continue to go to illegal aliens in our country. This has been done for the past 4 years under the Biden administration, and the American people roundly rejected it. And you hear AOC, who is apparently the new leader of the Democrat Party in that CNN town hall, say to a concerned American when that American asked, "Do you want my taxpayer-funded benefits going to illegals?" She said, "That's a Republican talking point. Those aren't the real issues Americans are facing." That is a lie. If you look at what happened under the Biden administration, real Americans, elderly citizens, were facing an increase in wait times at hospitals and emergency care centers across the country because they were putting last in line, and illegal aliens were getting that care and that treatment first. And when illegal aliens get medical treatment in this country, who's paying for it? The American taxpayer. Well, not anymore under the Trump administration. That's why this administration is focused on deporting illegal aliens who violate our nation's laws. And we're going to protect the rights and the benefits of tax-paying, law-abiding American citizens.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about world peace. The president has invested a lot of time, political resources, energy into world peace. Congo, Rwanda, Azerbaijan, Armenia, Israel, Iraq, and I can go India, Pakistan, I can go on and on. We had this historic deal. The hostages were finally released, which was great. Now we see Hamas radicals that are indicating they don't want peace. They're killing innocent Palestinians. The president has said if you keep it up and you don't keep the terms of the agreement, you will be obliterated. Zelensky was at the White House today, and that on the heels of a phone call with Vladimir Putin and an appointment apparently to meet once again. I think probably the word tomahawks might have gotten Putin's attention. Can you give us an update on both of those situations?
Sure. Well, first of all, Sean, I want your audience to know how hard President Trump is working in the pursuit of peace, not just here in our own country, on the homeland, in the domestic front, but around the world. The president started the week flying to Israel and Egypt, came back within 36 hours to honor Charlie Kirk at the Medal of Freedom ceremony in the White House. And then the next day, he spends 3 hours on the phone with President Putin trying to bring this war to an end. The following day, today, we had President Zelensky at the White House, and the president had a 3-hour-long meeting with him in the cabinet room. And in both of these conversations with both Putin and Zelensky, they were cordial but very frank. And the president of the United States has said to both sides of this war, this has been going on for far too long. Far too many innocent people have been killed. And the United States of America is growing very weary and tired of this war. Enough is enough. Both sides need to recognize the reality on the ground right now and come to a peace agreement, because President Trump's patience and the patience of the American people is growing very thin with this war. And so he was very frank and direct, but President Trump will never give up. And you saw that come to a resolution with the peace deal in Israel and in Gaza, with the beautiful release of the hostages. That was another promise made and promise kept by President Trump. And it cannot be overstated how hard the president and his incredible national security team, Special Envoy Witkoff, Vice President Vance, Secretary of State Rubio, Secretary Hegseth, our Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, there's so many behind the scenes as well, who have worked so hard, but especially the president, who literally does not sleep and works around the clock in the pursuit of peace. And he will continue to do that with respect to Russia and Ukraine, just like he has with Israel and Gaza. And he truly believes that there can be a real chance for an everlasting peace in the Middle East. And you saw Arab leaders and European leaders from around the world gathering in Egypt with the president and thanking him for this historic accomplishment. It's a new dawn in the Middle East, and we hope that can be true as well with Russia and Ukraine, and the president is working very hard on that.
We could all hope for that. I mean, what a noble goal. You mentioned patience, and I'm thinking, I don't know how you have the patience to deal with the state-run legacy media mob every day. I would not be able to keep my cool. You're very good at it. So I think that makes it a pretty hard job. Caroline, we appreciate your time. Thank you for being with us. Hey, Sean Hannity.
President Trump has been very cordial and very frank, especially when it comes to the best White House press secretary possibly ever.
Get it out like immediately. Is that right? How's Caroline doing? Is she doing good? Should Caroline be replaced?
No. That's up to you, sir.
It'll never happen.
Nobody wants to.
I
say she does a great job. Do you want to elaborate on
And those lips, they move like a machine gun, right?
Do you want to elaborate on the
And I want to come back to Hakeem Jeffries and his immature and blatantly false attack against Caroline Leavitt and the lies Democrats continue to tell and the truths they want to ignore. But first, let's talk about how the left has promoted violence and cheered on pro-Hamas protests. While we hear nothing but crickets from those who were calling for peace, and now that Trump has delivered it, they can't even muster up enough courage to turn on their cameras and record reels on their phones to thank the president. It is a thankless job. I'm sure it is. And I'm so glad we have President Trump and Caroline Leavitt and the entire administration helping to restore our country back to a level of unimaginable greatness. But stick with me here, folks, and watch this, or just listen, as I know you all are very, very busy and may be tuning into my show as a podcast. But just think about this for 1 second. If he, the president, Donald Trump, cleans up the crime in blue cities, he would easily flip those cities and states red. And this is the real concern for the Democrats, not keeping Americans safe, but instead keeping control. And this young man on this next clip breaks it down perfectly. Roll it.
Which sensible person in Chicago will want to vote Democrat again? So if you listen to the liberal media, it's really very wicked. See, black mothers in DC, when their kids step out, their heart beating fast, would he come home alive? Yes, the data is there. They are being killed every day.
Chicago,
not by police,
yeah.
not by wicked people from some Italian country, by their own people.
Mm-hmm.
The president said, listen, I will create a little discomfort for a couple of days, but I will clean up the crime. Your child won't die. Guess who went to the street to protest against the president saying, I'll protect your children from dying?
Who?
Well, of course, the same people whose children are being killed daily in DC. That alone should tell you that there is some selfish motive behind it. Who wouldn't jubilate and said, finally, please, clean the place so my son will see his 18th birthday? What justification is you to... Okay, police are in the streets of every city in America, isn't it?
They are.
Okay. We see army barracks everywhere. Okay, the National Guard are Americans who've been trained to say, protect your people.
Mm-hmm.
What is the fear? None whatsoever, except it's all political. They don't want him to win points because if he cleaned blue cities in his 4 years, he'd turn and flip those places red in 2028.
So you think that's the real concern?
That's the real concern. Which sensible person in Chicago will want to vote Democrat again?
I think they'll still vote Democrat.
No, they won't.
For whatever reason.
Don't take Americans for this thing. When they see real result, yes.
And this is why folks like J.B. Pritzker and Brandon Johnson and Gavin Newsom fight so hard to challenge Trump at every turn. It isn't for us or for you, but it's for them. Oh, yeah. And Hakeem Jeffries, of course. He and other Democrats like him. Pure evil. Sick? Out of control? No, Hakeem. Caroline Leavitt is all well and good. Unlike you and the Democrats and Senate Dems who can't even get it together with House Democrats and are forcing this government shutdown to do what? Hurt Americans so they can support more illegals instead? Oh, yeah, and of course to beat Trump, which they can never do. And I'm not sure whether Hakeem is demented, ignorant, a stone cold liar, or all of the above. You see what I did there? This really doesn't make any sense how these Democrats manage to function on a daily basis on such an uneven kilter. But like Caroline Leavitt said, President Trump was very cordial, frank, and extremely direct.
The world, I'll say that.
Mr. President, it has been reported that Maduro offered everything in his country, all the natural resources. He even recorded a message to you in English recently, offering mediation. What should we do in order to stop that?
He has offered everything. He's offered everything. You're right. You know why? Because he doesn't want to fuck around with the United States. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you, guys. Thanks, guys. Let's go. Start moving. Thank you, guys. Let's go. Thanks, guys.
There's no question or mixing of words and messages. And I can't believe Trump just said that, but I ain't mad that he did. Michelle showed me this meme the other day, and it is exactly what we see happening right now. Peace through strength, ladies and gentlemen. Peace through strength. And so here we are, folks. I really hope you're enjoying this video and appreciate the time and effort I put into making it, collecting the information, doing the research and everything. And as promised, I thought I'd seen it all. But there was just one incredibly shocking and unbelievable thing after another. And of all the unbelievable things I've seen so far today, I think this last and final share may very well be the most important. And one, I can guarantee you that you're not going to want to miss. And you know what? I really resonate with Elon Musk on this one, where he just reposted a quote saying, "I have a mental illness that makes me think that people will change their minds if I present the correct arguments with the appropriate facts and data. Maybe it works and I can be effective, or maybe not. I don't know for sure, but I will continue to try." And so I want to send a huge thank you to Keith D for helping out with this one, as I sent him a text a few days ago and asked him straight up, "Could you easily explain the Bitcoin China tariff short to me in my channel?" And he absolutely delivered. So I'm going to link his video down below, and it should show up at the end of the video for you guys to click on, because much like his ultra viral video, "If you don't understand bonds, you don't understand money," that has over 1 million views already. Well, if you don't understand what's happening on the blockchain with crypto, securities exchanges, tariffs, and China, then watch this video next, and you'll be that much closer to understanding money, because it's changing and it's all happening so fast. So thanks again to Keith D for being there and helping me out, but more importantly, helping you all out. And a big thanks to y'all for tuning in. As always, stay safe and God bless.